How y'all doing? I'm gonna start out right where I'm supposed to, which is answering a question on here that I have that I forgot from yesterday because a woman wrote me about the level of her anxiety, which was high. And I told her I had things to deal with it, and I didn't have the book, but now I've got the book. It's called Dear Sonali, and I wrote it down. But we're going to go through it now, and I wanted to tell you why I want to go through it now. One, because I promised, and number two, I got to get my act together. And part of getting my act together is revisiting the old stupid that I used to do, and to revisit your old stupid helps you discern new stupid as it emerges into your life because as I've said, I've got a whole closet worth of stuff happening. I don't know what's wrong with my lighting. Something is, and I apologize for that. Does this help? I don't know. I don't know anything. But anyway, in my book, Dear Sonality, I wrote about the Anxiety Society. Y'all know I'm anxious, scared, all of that. And she wanted to know how somebody as anxious as I could end up doing speeches and stuff. And I told you that the speech starts is just weird, but I do have processes and procedures. So I wanted to go through them for you here right now. Now, the first thing this says is I address the glitch every day. Now, my anxiety has had a whole lot of names over the years. This is what the glitch is what I called it. I don't know. Whenever I wrote this book, 2019. I used to call it the beast because it used to be at me and whoop my behind on the regular. I mean, daily. But now I used to call it the glitch because it was a glitch in my system. There was something wrong. There was a screw loose. It was wobbling, and I had to deal with it. But now I don't call it that anymore. I think it's kind of a patina, just a patina. It just lightly dusts over me. uh, a dusting of anxiety because I don't allow it to, anymore. I don't think it's, well, anyway, it's better. But anyway, I address it every day. So in the morning, my first fight is always with me. I got to give myself a weather report, tell myself how I am, and then I have to feel it. I gotta name it and I gotta claim it. So today I feel A and I'm anxious about this. Next thing I do is I create an environment which A cannot thrive. Get on a treadmill, put some earphones on, endorphins come up, music comes on, you rolling, you strolling, you going, you got it, you're getting it. It's working out. That's what you're doing. You're getting it done. And then so that fires up the feel good hormones in your head. I also have a playlist that plays all the right songs. Starts out slow and da, 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 da. Well, that's more for depression. For anxiety, I start out fast and stay fast. I fake it till I feel it. If you keep grinning and doing, you know, go see something funny, do a little positive things, even though you're anxious inside again, that's more for depression than anxiety. But they usually coincide. Stay busy. Now, my anxiety loves to have some free time to frolic in. It just does. And the thing I need to do, most importantly, is to not allow it room to frolic. That's why I do things like build doll houses. They make everything better. They don't give my mind the time to do the things that they want to do. It wants to do, which is scan the world for difficulty, not allowing it. It's not a panacea, but it ameliorates. Now, if this thing has gone anything like it's supposed to have, panacea and ameliorate should have shown up. Panacea is a cure-all. Ameliorate is making it a little better. Now, I wanna do my best sales job for ameliorate over panacea. A lot of people or look most people, it's human nature, and it's happy to look for a complete solve of your problem. And in the absence of a complete solve of your problem that doesn't cause any other problems over there, we tend to get stuck looking for a complete solve. Rarely have I found a complete solve. So you can ameliorate things. You can make it a little better. You can take 100-pound problem and not just 10 pounds off of it. And maybe that'll allow you to move it from the center just over to the little side. There is value in just a little bit better. And when anybody offers you a panacea, you see, it's probably some BS that they're trying to sell you on their point of view. Men always, women always. This is the right always, the left always. If you do this, it'll be fine. No, no, not true. But anyway, ameliorating it, things are better. But I stay busy to keep anxiousness because, your amygdala, that little walnut-sized thing in your brain, spends all day long scanning the world for problems just so you won't get caught off guard. But when it can't find a real problem, it'll find another problem, and it'll make that real problem sound like that not real problem, feel like something that you have to worry about. So yeah, I stay busy. That's what all that dollhouse business is about. If I'm painting, if I'm putting things that it can't get out in front of me, can't do it. I keep things around me to interrupt my worry. I have things on my screensaver, like solitude beckons me far more often than it should, which is my time to get up and get out and get going. Are you worrying or are you working? Are you solving or are you being silly? All that kind of thing. I keep that just wafting through my brain. Because if you put things into words, these amorphous, oh, I don't feel good, it's become, I have this problem, or I have this issue, or I have this worry. And so when you put it into words, you can hold on to it. You know, it's like when you just have these amorphous worries, it's like gas. You can't collect it. So you gotta cool down. You cool it down into water, and then you can collect it, and then you can freeze it, and then you can work with it. That's how I look at it. Like I get cooler and cooler and cooler, so the problems get more and more firm and easier to deal with. I created a worry book, aka the Book of Stupid. I do so. I worry about it. I remember one time I thought, what, nah, I'm not even gonna tell you that story because y'all really think I'm out of my mind. I worry about something, and then when the problem arrives and leaves or doesn't arrive at all, I have to write down how it really turned out. And every time I want to write a new worry, I have to look at the old worries and how the old worries worked out so I can reinforce the appropriate response to the problem that I have. Even loss can be seen as stress to the system. Now, I'm just getting to this 2.5 years later. It's been taking me a minute to get here. But this morning, I wrote a list of all the crap I accomplished since he went away. I mean, the things that I had to figure out and do, and I had to give myself a round of applause because that was extraordinarily stressful to my system. And if I do say so myself, I hooped and hollered and cried and carry on, but I never dropped a ball. When the house was falling apart, the heater went out, and then the air conditioning went out, and just everything, one thing after another. And this kid was upset, a problem, and I had a problem with they were just stuff, just back to back to back. I had to get his clients back their stuff, and we were renovating, and and a week after, it was just and he died 2 days before Christmas, and there was Christmas, and then there was his birthday, January 1. Just more and more stress to the system. I got a dog because he told me, he said, Len, anything ever happens to me, get a dog. I got a dog. That was nothing but stress to my system. And thank God my sons had enough sense to send the dog back when I said I didn't want to because I was committed to the dog. My husband used to tell me I used to quit things too easily. So I got committed to the proposition of this dog, and the dog never got potty trained in a year. Couldn't do it. Four trainers. Had one cat trained Wolves, was able to do a little something with her, but stress, now all stress to the system is not good. That was unnecessary stress. I had other stressful stuff going on. I should have stopped that sooner, but it didn't have no sense. But I did have children that had sense, which is very wonderful. I'm not quite sure what I've said here, but I've talked about stress to the system. I've talked about anxiousness, and and I and I believe uh, that I am at a point in my life where I think I'll be able to dance again one day. All progress should be duly noted.